The big question I've been getting basically nonstop all week long is why the mountains are getting all the snow and why Denver and most of eastern Colorado probably not going to get much more than maybe a few drops of rain and maybe a few snowflakes. So the mountains, just to recap as I record this on President's Day on Monday, February the 16th, the mountains are going to be getting 1 to maybe 3 feet of snow this week, maybe even more than that in the San Juans locally this week. And Denver, we'll be lucky to get a few flakes later this week. We're basically going to get no snow, no rain, just a whole lot of wind. So why in Denver are we getting nothing while the mountains, just 50 miles basically to our west, if not less than that, going to be getting walloped by snow? The answer, it's simple. Basically, here's the way to think about it. Let's say you've got a big hose, right? And you're trying to get a drink of water from that hose, but you've got, I don't know, 3, 4 friends in front of you that are blocking you from getting that hose. That's the way this works. So we're getting a lot of Pacific moisture, right? And we've got what I've described as an atmospheric river of energy that's going to move its way into the mountains. But we just can't get it to the Front Range because we're getting a whole lot of blocking from the mountains, several different ranges, the Sierra Nevada, we've got the Wasatch Mountains, we've got, of course, the Rocky Mountains themselves, that big 14,000-foot wall of rock to our west of us here in Denver. That is essentially those 3 or 4 friends that are blocking that hose from actually reaching us here in the Denver area. Now, in order to get rain or snow in the Denver area, you need something, usually a cold front or an area low pressure to our south, to draw up that moisture from the Gulf. Because the way we get our moisture here in the Denver area, which I think a lot of people don't realize, it's usually not, sometimes it can be, but most of the time it's not Pacific moisture. It is usually moisture that comes from the Gulf. That's why upslope flow is probably a term you've heard. That means we're getting east winds that are tapping the moisture out of the Gulf and bringing it to us here along the I-25 corridor in eastern Colorado. We don't get it from the west. And so when all that moisture is up in the Pacific and we've got some of that mid-level energy, which we've got plenty of this week, we need a way to tap into that here along the Front Range, which usually means some sort of an east wind. We are not getting that this week. We're not getting any major pushes of cold air from the north. We're not getting any areas of low pressure developing to our south. The area low pressure that eventually takes all this energy off to the east, it develops basically right over us in the Denver area, which means we're getting kind of neutral winds. We're not getting any of a southerly push of moisture. We're just getting, again, kind of flat west winds, and that's not going to do the trick. That means we get downsloping winds, and we get basically dried out here along the Front Range. So if that makes sense, a lot of Pacific moisture that is blocking us from getting that here along the Front Range.